In order to take care of all of our debt, you're going to get married to that fat man for us. His family will be paying us $300,000 in order to make sure that you will marry their son. So get close with that pig, please. Thank you so much, Mom. Wow, what poor taste. Are you actually happy about having to marry a man of that size? Of course I am. After all, I'm really in love with the man that Adam is. And things like his face and body don't faze me at all, because it's about his character inside. I don't really even think something like being overweight is too much of a bad thing anyway. Hey, come on now. Are you really going to become serious with a man like that, though? He always seems so careless with the things he says, and neither his house or his income seem likely enough to support a woman like you. You are being used by your parents right now to help us pay off our debts, so there shouldn't be any love between the two of you. Do you understand that? What? I never said that I was doing any of this for you and Dad, though. And I'm very thankful that you introduced me to Adam when you did. And I will be making him my husband, so that we can both spend the rest of our lives together. Well, it's not like you being in love with the pig harms the both of us in any way, so go ahead and love him. As long as you're happy, that's what matters, right? Now, I would love to go out and have a word with his family now. In other words, you're wanting to go out and get your money from them? Hey now, don't say it like that, please. I would like to hurry up and enjoy your beautiful wedding since you are our precious little girl. Isn't that something we should all be wanting to celebrate right now? Huh? After all the things you were just saying about me, something seems a little off with you. Well, so be it. You want to see his parents now? I'll go and tell that to Adam, and see what he says. Yes, please, hurry up and let him know we want to see his parents and family. The reason this family is in a whole lot of debt right now is because of you as well. What exactly are you blaming me for? I thought I was doing a very good job lending both you and Dad all that money before. Well, you didn't lend us as much as we needed. All you'd ever give us was a pitiful amount because you were far too stingy with your money. And because of that, our debts only happen to grow larger and larger and larger. I believe the ones at fault for that are the married couple that thought it would be a good idea to go out and gamble it all away. Hey, it's horse racing's fault for being so damn entertaining to bet on. Well, I'd rather you blame horse racing for your guys' debt than your own daughter who had nothing to do with it. Are you not embarrassed right now to be using your daughter in order to pay off all that debt now? I'm happy this all led to me meeting a man like Adam. Shut up about that right now! You have no other choice in this since you're having to protect your parents now. And I call this fair since up until now you have never been useful to this family in any way. Right now, you'll be making the honor of finally having done something to protect your family from something as dangerous as death, right? You really call that an honor? Jenna! What the hell is this all about? What exactly are you talking about right now, Mom? No, I'm asking you why we're not being allowed inside the building with you guys. Today is the day of your guys' engagement party, right? We should be at the right place right now as well. Why are your dad and I being stopped at the front entrance right now? Because neither you or Dad were invited here. What? We weren't invited? What are you talking about right now? Today is the day of your engagement party, right? That means that your dad and I should be in there with you, all meeting your fiancé's family. What the hell do you think you're doing saying your dad and I weren't invited? I don't think of either of you two as family anymore. And that's why neither of you were invited to this party today. My fiancé and his family all understand my feelings as well about you two. Huh? What the hell do you think you're saying right now? Stop it with your sick little jokes right now. Today is most definitely not the kind of day where you should be messing around with your dad and I by saying things like that. I know that. And that's why I'm saying this very seriously right now. Both you and Dad are not allowed inside this building. Hold on a second. Then what about the money? Neither of you are getting that, of course. What? But that's a major problem for the both of us. If your dad and I don't get that money from the pig's family, then things will go to hell for us. You know that more than anyone else, right? I know that, but when it comes to that money, it should be going to someone like me, right? Huh? And we talked about all of this before, right? That you would be taking that money from his family and giving it to your dad and I. You're breaking that promise to us right now, and it's a terrible thing to be doing. Wait. I have zero memory of myself ever making a promise like that with the both of you before. All I remember is you bringing something like that up with me, but I never said that I agreed with it. Huh? Telling me that now is dirty. By the way, why were you both just assuming that his family would be giving $300,000 to me? Because when Adam's older brother got married, his family gave the fiancé's parents $300,000. That's why I was thinking this time would be the same amount, or maybe even more if they were feeling desperate enough. Your dad and I have been doing everything to make sure we'd get that money. You've both been doing everything for that money? What do you mean by that? Your dad and I have been living with the intention of getting that $300,000. That's why we both spent that much money already, and planned on paying that debt off with it. What? Don't tell me you both spent even more money and dug a deeper hole? We thought that we'd be getting $300,000 from Adam's family, so we had no other choice but to go crazy. If we were to be getting that kind of money from them, then we'd be able to afford anything. Ugh. I can't even think of you two as being adults anymore. You both never even knew the actual amount his family would be handing over, and just assumed it would be $300,000? Ugh. Well, with that kind of thinking, I can see now why the both of you are always getting even further into debt. Shut your mouth right now! We are done talking about this now, so let us inside. I have no reason to let the both of you inside here, though. Neither of you were invited out to this party here today. So, could you please both head back home right now for me? Bruno! You are inside that party right now, correct? You go and talk with Jenna right now and get her to let the both of us inside that building.
Mom? I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I think the decision that Jenna made is the right decision.
Huh? What the hell has she been saying to you? Are you sure that's what you want to do? If you let the both of your parents sit that party out, then your life is going to become just as crappy as ours afterwards. Do you understand me, Bruno?
How would my life become as crappy as your guy's life? I'm the one paying my own tuition fees. The only two that seem to be in any particular trouble right now are you and Dad.
What the? You haven't forgotten all about the appreciation you should have towards me for raising you. All you've been this whole time is a weak little baby. And having to raise such a weakling as you was a very tough job for me.
Well, when you say it like that, if you're really going to say things like that to me now, then what about you being such a bully all the time?
What has happened to you, Bruno? You're supposed to be the good child compared to your older sister, who always listens to what his parents say. What the hell has happened to you, Bruno?
I was never the good child that listened to everything you both said. I was just really weak all of those years and had no other choice really but to listen to what you and Dad were saying to me.
Why are you taking Jenna's side in all of this? Unlike you, she's a completely useless woman, right? If you continue to associate yourself with her, you're going to become just as dumb as she is, or even worse.
You're wrong, Mom. I don't find her to be useless at all. She happens to have her own opinions about everything and is strong enough to even defend herself from her own parents. I have always wanted to be on the side of someone as strong as she is.
What the hell? So now you're going to stab your parents in the back as well? I wasted all of my time raising you as well then. I should have thrown you out long ago when I had the chance to.
Mom, you really are the worst kind of woman. I've never seen someone as rotten and selfish as you. I've also heard all the things you said about Adam. You have no right saying things like that about a man like him, you bitch. I wouldn't even say things like that as a joke, to tell the truth.
Is this about those things I sent to Jenna before?
Yeah, that's right, Mom.
And the only ones who have seen those messages are you and her, right?
Nope. Adam and his family have all seen those messages as well now. Adam himself didn't really seem to care about what you were saying about him. But the rest of his family were all very pissed off, of course.
What? What the actual hell? Then that would mean our chances of getting that money are...
Not only will you both not be getting any money, but it doesn't seem like his family wants anything to do with you and Dad now. And that's why Jenna plans on cutting ties to the both of you now.
Wait a minute. That's going to screw both your dad and I over, though. What are your dad and I going to do if she leaves us behind?
I have no clue, Mom.
Hey. You both are following me in your car right now, correct? We're heading into town right now to get something for dinner, so could you both please go away now? Screw you, Jenna! I will not allow you to cut ties to your dad and I like this. You are our child, and we are your parents. And that means that you can never cut ties to the both of us. I will not let you get away from us. Absolutely not. Stop it already, Mom. You're both making even further disgraces of yourselves by doing that. If you continue to follow us like that, I'm going to call the police. Go right ahead, then. Your dad and I just happen to be going down the same roads as you is all. But here's the thing. If you are really thinking about abandoning the both of us, then your dad might look away from the road for a second and ram right into the back of you guys. If you do that, then things will really not be fun for you guys anymore. Things haven't been fun for anyone this whole time because of you. Right now, your dad and I have more than $250,000 worth of debt that we need to pay off. If we do not get that money we were expecting from the pig's family, then we'll be done for. You can say that all you want, but after all the things you said about Adam, they no longer want to have anything to do with the both of you two. Why did you even show all those things I said to them in the first place? That was a conversation for only your eyes and mine. I never planned on showing it to any of his family. But up until the day of the engagement party, you wouldn't stop sending me texts about Adam and his family, right? Every single day, you were taking shots at Adam and I, all to get a quick chuckle while making me feel bad. Eventually, Adam found out about all those texts you were sending me, because I was always having to look at my phone with a concerned frown on my face. Then you should have done something to get him away from looking at your phone. Why do I have to lie to him about the true monster my mom is? Why didn't you shut up and stop saying all of those things about us? They were just meant to be jokes, all of those texts. I was just getting really excited about the money his family would be giving us. Jesus Christ, Mom. I don't care. All my life you've treated me like that, saying things to try and upset me. If you really don't like me at all, then you should be happy I'm cutting ties with you both now. Tell me, Why did Adam go and show the rest of his family those texts then? All of those messages of making fun of him like that? Because Adam happens to be a very laid-back and open kind of man. He thought those things you were saying about him were pretty funny, and went to show his parents them. By the way, you knew that you were saying terrible things about us then, huh? I have an idea. You go and tell them that I was just saying those things to make Adam laugh. Explain that to his parents right now for me, please. Very please? It's way too late for that now. No matter the excuse you have for it now, it's too late. And as for me, I have to get rid of the both of you, because if I don't, you're going to continue asking for money for the rest of my life. What the hell? Are you saying that as long as you're happy, then everything is fine? Uh-huh. Come on, now you're just trying to bend what I'm saying, and it's to the point that I can't even wrap my head around it. The only ones seeming to want things to at least be good for themselves are you and Dad, after trying to use your daughter for money. Now, would you please stop following me and go back home? This is all we have left to do now. Your dad and I really don't have anything left for us in life after this. So we're going to chase you both down. That black car that's behind the both of you guys right now. What is that? That's the loan shark coming after us. We told him that we'd be meeting with him after the engagement party today. We made a promise to pay all of our debt off in one payment. You both really are as brain dead people come, aren't you? Your dad and I both broke the promise we made to him, and now he's following us around town. I don't care that your dad and I are complete idiots for what we did. Do something about him. What the hell do you think I can do? Please, don't get us wrapped up in your issues, alright? Stop playing games with me then. You ran away with all the money that was meant to become your dad's and mine, and that's why he's chasing after us now. All of this is your fault now. You do something about that loan shark right now. If you don't, then I'm going to start calling you Miss Useless again like the old days. That really brings me back, actually. You were always calling me that back when I was in school and still young. I was always crying about it afterwards, and luckily had Bruno there to hug me. That damn backstabbing Bruno. He really likes to play both sides, doesn't he? No, he does not. He just happens to be a really nice guy who only wants what's best for those he deems good people. He loved both you and Dad, along with me as a family back in the day, before he realized the truth. But in the end, he stabbed the both of his parents in their backs and then chose to side with you. What the hell happened to the respect you should be giving for me raising you two? You think I'm really going to respect two parents that only see me as their tool, so that they can get more money to go out and gamble it all away? Give your phone to Bruno for me. If I can have another chance to talk with him about this, he should come to understand me. I have no reason to be talking to Miss Useless anymore now, do I? Sorry to say this, but I'm not in here with Bruno right now. I believe that he's coming out to find us in his car right now. What? Huh, does that mean? What? What's happened with you? Bruno? Why did you do this? Huh? What did he do? What are you getting all worried about this time? Bruno? Why the hell are you riding in the same car as that loan shark right now? Did you get taken by them or something?
No, I'm in here because I wanted to ride along with him. Mom, you both need to stop running away from us now and stop your car so that we can take care of things once and for all. Dad's driving is starting to become really reckless now, so if you keep on going like that, you're only going to cause more damage.
What is going on here? How much more do you plan to stab us in the back before you'll feel satisfied with things? You've already taken sides with someone like Miss Useless, and now you're taking sides with the loan shark who's after us.
Mom, I never said that I'm on the same side as this loan shark, trying to get all that money back from you two. For the past year, it's been me who has paid a lot of that debt off for you both.
What?
Because of that, there hasn't been much of debt for you both to pay off, right? Well, there wasn't as much you guys having to pay off before. But now, you both have been spending even more, creating even more debt that I can't even keep up with. And that is why now I can't take care of you both anymore.
You're lying. You paying off parts of our debt like that for us is all lies. If you really were, then why were you never telling either of us?
Wait, you both should have been aware of what I was doing for you two. You both knew it was happening, but you continued to play things off like you never noticed in order to get me to continue to pay for you guys.
What?
Could you both stop lying and trying to hide things from me? You both knew that it was me paying off a lot of your debt before, right? I know that you knew about it.
I suppose we did know about that. But we were never planning to rely on you forever. The reason we wanted for Jenna to go out with that pig and marry into his family was very much for your sake as it was for ours. Had we gotten that money we planned on getting at the party today, we would have paid off the debt and not had a need for you paying for us anymore.
Stop trying to talk like you had kind intentions this whole time, Mom. Both you and Dad have only ever thought about yourselves this whole time. And not only were you using Jenna for money, but you started to use me too.
That's not at all true, Bruno. Your dad and I loved you all this time, haven't we? Because look, you are completely different from the useless woman you call your sister.
Stop freaking calling Jenna useless, okay?
What?
I don't think of you and Dad as my parents anymore, alright? The one who had to step in and raise me while you both would always go out and gamble and drink was Jenna.
You're not thinking of us as your parents anymore? Then tell me, why were you stepping in to pay off parts of our debt?
That was for Jenna's sake. I have always been so weak when it came to confronting people before, so I could never say no to you guys. And while I at least wanted to do something to take care of Jenna for once, and so that I thought by paying off your debt in her place, you both would stop picking on her. I just never assumed that you guys would continue to make even more debt as I was paying it off.
Is that right? But wait a second. Since you are still a really kind boy, you should be able to understand things as long as we keep talking.
There is nothing else for us to talk about, though. I have never had the confidence to say all of this before, but I'll say it to you now. The only useless people here are you and Dad.
Jenna. I'm so very sorry, Jenna. Could you find it in your heart to forgive us? Oh, that's right. Very smart of you to give up on calling me names, and to finally shift to trying to apologize for all the things you've done to me before. All of that verbal harassment wasn't going to do you any good, so I'm glad to see you're finally calming down and acting like an adult. You're wrong. I have really learned my lesson, and I'm not trying to play games with you still. No, you haven't. I know this is all another lie from you. There's no way the woman I knew growing up would be able to learn her lesson from anything like this. I have never seen anyone as selfish as you and Dad before. Therefore, I know you're just acting like an adult to try and sway my feelings. I already heard what happened from Bruno, by the way. And there's no way I'm going to be forgiving either one of you now. Why not, Jenna? Before all of this, you were at least helping me out some here and there, right? And that was me, when I was still trying to be a bit kind to you two. I didn't care how much I was being abused by the both of you then, because you were both still like family to me at the time, so I was okay with giving a little bit of my money away. And I think the same thing applies to Bruno as well. But it was the both of you who went and took advantage of our kindness, right? Well, there's no more help coming for the both of you after that. Please! I really have thought about all of this and I am sorry. If things don't change for us right now, who knows what that loan shark is going to do? Well, let's hope he puts you both to work. I think you both need a little bit of that in your lives. To Bruno, Adam, Adam's family, and myself, we all agree that things will be best for all of us if you both are gone and out of our lives. Why would you ever say that about your own parents? But that's the truth, isn't it? You should find some honor in being able to do that for the rest of us, right? Being able to, disappear. Bruno. So, you were helping them pay off their debts then, huh? And all while thinking about me?
For as long as I can remember, you have always been this strong and outward-speaking girl. But every time you started to become colder and colder due to the ways Mom and Dad would treat you. And well, I wanted to stop them from taking advantage of you all the time like that and end your pain. Also, it was you who raised and protected me ever since I was a toddler, right?
What are you going on about? You are my little brother, Bruno, so it's always been a job of mine to have to protect and raise you. I never thought of you being any weaker than myself then. So please, don't feel like you were ever to blame for what happened to me. If anything, I find you stronger than me. You've been paying your way through school all on your own, all while paying off parts of your parents' debt. I could never do something like that.
But wait, I understand what you're saying, but...
No matter how you try and think about it, Mom and Dad are the ones at fault for everything. They would always leave their kids at home while they went out to drink and play. Then they went and forced their kids to start paying off their debts, all while getting into more while at it. They are monsters, and always will be, Bruno. Yet finally, we're able to cut ties with them.
That's right. And the loan shark that was after them felt sorry for us. He told me that all the money I was paying him for them, he would give it back to me. He wanted to make sure that it was only them that is made responsible for all the debt that they got into.
Well. That man seems to be even more open-minded and caring than I thought he'd be.
He sure is. He may be a loan shark, but he also understands what it means to be taken advantage of by the wrong people.
So, what's happened with Mom and Dad?
He told them that he'd be introducing them to a whole new world of hell, where they'd be working to pay off their debts. And who knows for sure how long that will take them. It may take them until they're in their 70s, but at least by then they should have learned their lessons well enough.
I hope so. Well, anyway, Bruno, thank you so much. You've always been thinking about me, right?
Why are you thanking me? You're the one that has always been thinking about me, right? Also, you and I are family, so what I was doing was expected of me. But that's completely fine with me, because you're the only person I think of as my family now.
After that, just like Bruno has told me, both my mom and dad were taken away by the loan shark and were forced to work for him in a coal mine somewhere far out in the mountains. They're both in their 60s still, so I'm sure that they can at least manage the hard physical labor, or having to be down in those mines for long periods of time, paying off their debt little by little. I wonder how many years they're going to have to stay working there, or rather, how long they will last working there in those mines before their bodies give out. Well, they have both been playing around in their life with other people's money, so I guess it's finally time for them to grow up and work like the rest of us adults. A little while after that all went down, Adam and I got married and had a wedding, with all of his family and Bruno invited. And although my little brother had always been a bit soft and weak when he was younger, he gave a marvelous speech and moved everyone with it. As of right now, I'm living in a new home with Adam as we start this next chapter in our lives of being happy husband and wife together. We both plan to have kids someday, but want to make sure that we care more about them when they come along than things like going out to drink and have fun. So perhaps we'll spend a year getting all of that excitement out of the way first, before we have our first kid and start a little family. And as for Bruno himself, After Adam and I moved in together, he went and took over our mom and dad's house, as they would no longer be able to live there, being so far away from us now. He even went to the courthouse and was able to forge some signatures in order to be able to have his name on the place, and said that someday he'd be willing to sell it and move on. Bruno had always planned on moving out west, but having to take care of my parents for a while really took that ability away from him, and I wish I would have noticed that a whole lot sooner. I guess once he finishes up that last month of university and has graduated, that's what he'll be doing.